Well, hey, everybody. Alice Lema here, broker John L. Scott in beautiful Southern Oregon with another edition of the weekly podcast. Today, we're going to talk about using homeownership to shield you from inflation and other nasty things that are going on in the world today. But before we get to that, I want to give you a quick minute to like the channel, give us a thumbs up, please. And also, please subscribe. Thank you to all the folks that have subscribed already. We have close to 120 subscribers. Yay. Thank you. And if you have not subscribed, please do click that button. If you've got any questions, any comments, feel free to send them on this platform. It gets checked regularly. If you'd like to speak to me personally and privately, you can reach me at 541-301-7980. Now, with that in mind, let's go to the podcast, how homeownership can shield you from inflation and other nasty things going on in the world today. So, number one, some of the concern right now with the hyperinflation and all the uncertainty is, should I buy a house right now? Is it really a good idea? Because what if there's going to be another crash? What if the inflation eats up blah, 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 worry, worry, worry. Well, here's a chart from KCM, Keeping Current Manners, one of my favorite websites, talk about it a lot. So I want you to see historically from the 1970s, homeownership has been a great hedge against inflation. In fact, the last couple of years, it's been phenomenal. And you can see even during the really hard times where we had the housing crisis in the 2000s, that would be, the 2006, 7, 8, 9, depending on what part of the country you were in is when it hit you. But, even during then, it almost kept up with inflation. The rest of the time, homeownership has exceeded inflation. So historically, very safe bet. In fact, a lot of investors move their money into real estate during inflationary times just for that reason. So just wanted to lay the groundwork. Historically, homeownership is a great hedge against inflation. And you can turn to the chart from KCM to see what I'm talking about. The second thing that homeownership during inflationary times helps you with is protecting you from the vulnerability of being a tenant. Now, being a tenant is very footloose, fancy free, very easy care lifestyle. But in these kind of times, you're super vulnerable because, especially where we live in Southern Oregon, there aren't many rental units available. We have a severe shortage of housing for tenants. So it makes you even more uber vulnerable. And the prices keep going up for rental units because supply and demand, super simple. So the number two here is homeownership can keep you out of the vulnerable position of being a renter, especially during these very uncertain times. And I think that's really important. Now, some folks are not in a position to own a home by themselves. And that's where you want to go and check out some of my other videos about homeownership with partners, romantic partners, family partners, investment partners. They're all a little bit different. They all have pluses and minuses, but it is a way group purchases can help secure an address for you and your people right now so that you're not tenants. Okay. And not that there's anything wrong with being a tenant. I've been a tenant before too. I am off and on. But the point is that you're vulnerable, even during good times. And right now, with all the uncertainty in the world and the hyperinflation, I think you're more at risk because landlords are selling, especially in Oregon. Landlords are selling. They don't want to be landlords right now. We don't have a ton of people jumping back in to replace those investor landlord people. So yeah, I think that's the alarm bell I want to ring is if there's any way possible for you to own a home, do it, because it will help protect you from all that uncertainty. Okay. Number three, buying a home stabilizes your budget. Well, at least it's supposed to. So yes, taxes and insurance go up. And in our county, Jackson County, the taxes are a little high. No offense, we love our county, but they're a little high. They go up almost 3% every year. But the mortgage itself stays the same. If you get a 30-year fixed, 15-year fixed mortgage, then the only fluctuation is going to be your taxes and insurance and your maintenance. So with that in mind, you can have some predictability in your monthly budget. And that is super important during the good times, even more important during the uncertain times. And when we have hyperinflation, we're spending a lot more on gas, we're spending more on food, we're spending more on heat. and everything else in our life, at least you have some stability in your biggest bill every month, which is providing your own housing. So I'm a big fan of having budgets, stabilizing the budget. You'll sleep better, you'll be safer economically, you'll be more financially secure. So yeah, and in certain times, buy a house. If you already own a house, buy another one and consider being a good landlord. Gosh, we sure need them. In the meantime, if you're thinking of selling, this is all super important as well, because you want to make sure you put your money into another asset that also is a hedge against inflation. So if you're selling and buying another house because you want a place to live, or you're selling and buying more rentals, great. If you're not putting your money into real estate, just make sure you check with a financial advisor, somebody who knows about asset protection during inflationary times, and just make sure that you're putting your money in a good place where it won't be at risk. Okay. But I think real estate is the way to go. But I do know that some people put their money in other places as well. Hard to believe, but they do. Anyway, little joke there. That's all we have for today. If you need something, please give me a call, give me a text. I'm around all weekend. My number is 541-301-7980. We'll be back again next week. Have a great day. Bye.